Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my first year teacher classroom library haul. I am surrounded by books right now, so I'm super excited to get into them. I'm going to try to not talk about all of them in detail, which is going to be hard. As a previous English major, I love talking about books. They're like all my little friends. Very excited to get into my classroom and get my students excited about reading. I love reading. I hope that I can share that love with them. Just a little context, I will have 8th grade English. I try to get a variety of books. I'm not the type to believe that there's like gendered books. I'm at an all-boys school, but if there's a book with a female protagonist that I think is good, I'm going to include it in my library. So yeah, super excited to share these with you guys. If you guys have any recommendations of books that you really enjoyed when you were in middle school, or that you know that middle school kids really like, let me know. I'm all ears. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with series that I have. The first one is the Divergent series. So there's Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant. I think I just bought this one from Barnes & Noble. This one I actually got from when I was student teaching. One of the other teachers was getting rid of it and didn't want it, so I was like, sure, I'll take that. And then I think I got this one, maybe this one was donated to me, I'm not sure. But yeah, I love the movie, so I think the books would be great to get the kids interested in reading. Another really cool series that I have, I'm missing one of the books, but this is the Slated series. It's basically like delinquent teenagers get their memories erased, and they're in this program where they have these like things on their wrist that shock them if they do something they're not supposed to do. I really liked it. I read it maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I never got the second book. I just got the second book, I think, off of Thrift Books. And then there's a third book, so I might even read these myself. The next series that I have was donated by a friend, and it is the Alex Rider series. I've never read these, but I've heard that a lot of middle school, high school age boys really like them. Okay, so I'm thinking that they're about like a teen spy type thing. The covers look really cool and interesting and sci-fi. Here is all of the Alex Rider books. Next series that I have is The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I stole these from my siblings. They are not readers, but they really liked these, and so I thought that these would be good for kids that like aren't really into reading. In class, if we have extra time, I will have them pick out a book from my library to read. So I think these are good, just very light, very fun. Any kid could read them, pretty accessible. Here is the next series of books that I have. They're not even gonna fit in the screen. Okay, so the next series is the Series of Unfortunate Events. A friend donated these to me, and I'm super thankful because there's like 12, maybe more. Look that there's a TV show, I think, on Netflix, so I'm sure a lot of the kids will be familiar with the series. I like getting series because I feel like it's a great way to get kids interested in reading and excited to read more. I've never read them, but they look pretty interesting. I would like to read them. So I feel like this haul is just books that I'm gonna add to my reading list. The next, I'm getting so tired from picking up all these heavy books. So the next series that I have is the Harry Potter series. This was donated to me. I haven't ever read the book, but I've seen the movies. I wasn't allowed to read them growing up because my parents were super scared of like witchy stuff. Would never actually purchase these because I know the author is one of those authors that we are boycotting. I don't want to give any money to people that are racist, homophobic, whatever. I can separate the art from the artist if it's a donated book. And I know the series is really good. I really enjoyed the movies, so I would like to read the books and see if they are better, which the books are usually better. 7 Harry Potter books. Okay, so next I'm gonna show you all of the books that I have that aren't in a complete series. First being The Hunger Games. I have 2 of them. I also have The Maze Runner. This one has been through the ringer. I let my sister borrow it, and this is how she gave it back to me. I have a friend that donated, I think my friend donated this book to me, Ender's Game. I've seen the movie, it was really good. I have a lot of like sci-fi, dystopian type novel. And Aragon, this was like super popular when I was in elementary and middle school, and I really liked the movie. I actually rewatched it recently and it was really good. So hopefully the students will like that one. I, on Thrift Books, spent like $50 and got 10 books. They had like a big sale. and not spons, but if you are a teacher, you like books a lot, they have really good deals and you can get like a free book after so many purchases. So I got this one, They Both Die at the End. I haven't read this and the font of it looks kind of middle grades, so I think it should be fine. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I'm not gonna lie, the covers of this one really got me. I think it looks really cool. Yeah, not sure what this is about, but looks cool. Really just picked up, like, I went to the like middle grades section on thrift books and just picked up books that looked interesting. This one is called One of Us is Lying. I'm guessing it's like one of those murder mystery. I think it's like murder mystery meets The Breakfast Club type vibe. So looks interesting. Finally, from thrift books, I got The Greatest Game. Something about like a game show, winning money. Looks kind of interesting. Okay, next is just some random like little tiny ones. The Judy B. Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus. Again, I feel like if we just had like extra time after a test or something and a kid wanted to pick up a book that they could finish really quick, this one's great. Matilda. Loved the movie growing up, and I know that they made a new one on Netflix, so this might be fresh on their minds to be interested in reading. Coraline, Coraline, Coraline. My all-time favorite movie. I really liked the book. There's pictures in it. It's really spooky. Yeah, love Coraline. Like, are you kidding? Terrifying. And it's supposedly a kid's book, but I think it's pretty spooky. My friend donated this Goosebumps book. Looks pretty cool. I want to collect all the Goosebumps books because I used to read them religiously when I was in elementary and middle school, and I really enjoyed them. Okay, so now I'm gonna show the books that I had in my own childhood bedroom library that I've read most of them. So The Hiding Place, this I think we read in middle school or high school. It's about the Holocaust, I believe. I know a lot of 8th grade curriculum involves the Holocaust, so I think having books relating to the topic is important. Also, I have The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. The book gutted me, and it's a really good story and it really gives perspective on the situation that went down. Zora Neale Hurston, Their Eyes Were Watching God. I don't think I read this one. I think my little sister had to read this for school, but a classic, very important literature. And A Long Way Gone, Memoirs of a Boy Soldier. I haven't read this one. I think my sister did, but I think this was recommended when I was student teaching to some of the kids because they were doing an adversity unit, and so talking about situations of overcoming adversity. This book came up a few times. And the 7th graders that I was teaching read this book, Letters from Rivka. It's also about the Holocaust and the journey that Rivka goes through traveling from Europe to America to flee the concentration camps. Switching gears, this book, Lore, I couldn't finish it. It was very dense, but I think any kid that's interested in like sci-fi, world building, mythology, that's why I was drawn to it, because this made me think of Medusa. But there was just a lot of world building that I was like, okay, like I'm a little lost. But I've seen a lot of really good reviews on it, so maybe the students will like it better than I did. And then my friend donated this manga, My Hero Academia. My little brother and I watched this show, so I think it's really cute. I'm sure the kids will love this one. And then I have 2 poetry books that I thought could be interesting. Poems for Morning and Poems on Nature. Again, just something light, quick, in case we finish early and kids want to have something to do. And light little poetry book sounds perfect to me. Poems of the Neurodivergent Experience. I really enjoyed this book, and I don't know if you can see, but I dog-eared a ton of pages of poems that I really related to, and I'm sure a lot of the students will be able to relate to as well. So I thought that could be a good one. And then this book I actually read, 30 Talks Weird Love. I read for an adolescent literature class in college, and it's kind of poems. It's very uniquely written. It's like vignettes, poems, weird shapes, weirdly structured. And it's about a girl who goes back in time and like interacts with her younger self. And the overall message is self-love. I like that it's written by a Hispanic woman, because a lot of my students are going to be Hispanic and people of color. So I think having more voices, more diversity will be really important in my library. Yeah, I think this book was really good. Honestly, I think it made me cry a couple times and I would read it again. So I think this is a beautiful book. The Art of Being Alone. I read this pretty quick a couple years ago. I don't know, I think self-help can be nice, especially for younger people. Middle school is that age where they're kind of not feeling like they fit in, trying to figure out who they are. So it's really short. I thought this might be an interesting book for some of them. This book I really liked. It's called The Hidden Life of Trees. What They Feel, How They Communicate, Discoveries from a Secret World. It is really slow, but it was just very like cozy, comforting. It just talked about the connections of nature and how trees are like more alive than we think. So that was a very interesting read. Next we have The Babysitter's Coven. I really like this book. It has like monsters, like witchy vibes, and I think the cover is cute. Next is The Catcher in the Rye. I also read this for the adolescent literature class that I took. Annotated in it, took notes. I guess I can take these little sticky notes out. But it was a really good book. Loved it. I thought it was really beautiful and deep. I'm not sure if middle schoolers will fully grasp what it's talking about, but I thought it was amazing. The Chocolate War. I read this book as well for the adolescent literature class. I wasn't as big of a fan, but the main characters are boys and they're like fighting, dealing with social status and things like that. So I think it could be pertinent to the students. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. I Am the Cheese. I remember reading this book in the 10th grade and it changed my life. It was such a good book. The story was super interesting to me. I annotated it as a kid. Yeah, the story was so interesting to me. Like the ending was crazy. I'm not gonna spoil it, but loved this book. Flowers for Algernon. I got this book off of Thrift Books as well. And I remember reading it for the first time and it was like another one of those books where I was like, this has changed my life forever. It's basically a man who has like a low IQ and he gets this surgery or procedure or something done that gives him a higher IQ and he kind of becomes miserable. So I don't know, I think this was a really good book. I have 2 copies of The Giver. I think my 4th grade teacher read this out loud to us. I just love a good dystopian, weird sci-fi novel. And I think this book brings up really good discussion points about like freedom, community, things like that. So these are great to have. And then I was donated The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I think this is a good middle school book. I know my sister read this in middle school, like for her class. I've never read it, so I don't know if it's like lighter or a heavier story, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Okay, next I have A Dark and Hollow Star. I read this book a couple of years ago. It's pretty big. It's sci-fi mixed with like mythology. It was pretty interesting. I think I gave it maybe 3 stars on Goodreads. I liked it, but it was just really long. Legends and Lattes. And then we also have this book. I've never read it, but the girl on the cover is me. She looks like me. I've seen a lot of like book talk creators talking about this, and I know it's like sci-fi, magical, and of course I had to get it because the cover, she looks just like me. So that is all for my first year teacher classroom haul. I still haven't seen my classroom, so I don't know if all these books are gonna fit or if I'm gonna need like a ton more. I'm also not sure how I want to set up. I've seen a lot of people do book bins, but I think some of the books are too large to do that with. So maybe I could do it for like Series of Unfortunate Events or The Hunger Games or something, but definitely not for all of them. So if you have any suggestions for how to set up the classroom library, please let me know. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and make sure you like and subscribe.